Hi everyone, so today the topic that we are going to discuss is Accounting Standard 10, that is Property, Plant and Equipment. So we have already discussed till Accounting Standard 9 and this is study note number 12.5 of CMA Inter paper number 5, that is Financial Accounting. So now let us discuss this Accounting Standard 10, that is the last accounting standard in the syllabus of CMA Inter Group 1, and that is Property, Plant and Equipment. Please notice these three words: property, plant and equipment. In short, we can also call it PPE. So it is not plant, property and equipment. It is first property, then plant and then equipment. So how will the accounting of property, plant and equipment will be? So for this, let us understand what is the actual meaning of property, plant and equipment. What does property, plant and equipment actually mean? Accounting Standard 10 replaces accounting for fixed assets. Now, depreciation, which was previously in Accounting Standard 6, is now covered in Accounting Standard 10. This Accounting Standard 10 was previously in Ind AS 16 as fixed assets. So now these things are replaced and everything has been combined in one accounting standard, that is Accounting Standard number 10, which is Property, Plant and Equipment. Now, Accounting Standard 10 deals with the criteria of three things: recognition, cost and depreciation for property, plant and equipment. So Accounting Standard 10 basically deals with the criteria of recognition, cost and depreciation for fixed assets, that is property, plant and equipment. Now let us first understand the definition part. Tangible assets. Okay, so property, plant and equipment are tangible assets which is expected to be used for more than 12 months and held for use for production or selling of goods or services, for example delivery van, rentals in property, for example property, plant, equipment used as in rental to others, and administrative purpose, so for example finance, accounting of selling or distribution. So what is the exact meaning of property, plant and equipment is? It is that it should be tangible assets which is expected to be used for more than 12 months and held for use for production or selling of goods or services, for rentals in property and for administrative purpose. So this is tangible asset. Now intangible asset is covered in Accounting Standard 26. So I hope the definition part is clear to all of you. Now let us come to the topic that where does this standard does not apply. Now this standard does not apply to, that is Accounting Standard 10 PPE, that is property, plant and equipment. It does not recognize these things. The very first one is biological assets related to agro activity. Agro means agricultural activity. So all the biological asset which is related to agricultural activities are not recognized in this particular standard. Now, biological assets includes green plants and animals, that is livestock, except, so biological assets will include all the green plants and all the animal livestock, but except bearer plant. Bearer plant क्या होता है? For example, apple orchard. Bearer plant, for example, apple orchard. So here it is basically saying that all the biological assets that is related to agricultural activity will not come in this particular standard, but except bearer plant. That means bearer plant will apply this standard. The standard will obviously apply to all the bearer plants, for example apple orchard, and it will not be applied to all green plants and animal livestock. And crops are also not bearer plants. Keep this in mind. Crops are not bearer plants. Now this standard also does not recognize wasting assets. Now what are wasting assets? These are coal, mineral, petroleum, etc. So Accounting Standard 10 basically does not recognize two things. The very first one is biological assets that is related to agricultural activity. The second one is wasting assets. Now This standard is applied to property, plant and equipment which is used to develop or maintain the assets mentioned in the exceptions above. Okay, so for example, in biological assets and wasting assets, if any property, plant or equipment is required, then in that particular property, plant and equipment, this accounting standard 10 will be applied. So that is what it is written here, that this standard is applied to all property, plant and equipment which is used to develop or to maintain the assets mentioned in the exceptions above. Now let us understand what is the exact meaning of bearer plant. What does bearer plant means? So bearer plant is a plant which is used in the production or supply of agricultural produce and is expected to bear produce for more than 12 months, and also it has a remote likelihood of being sold as agricultural produce except for incidental scrap sales. So what does bearer plant means? It means any production or supply of agricultural produce which is expected to bear produce for more than 12 months, and it has a very remote likelihood. Remote means very less likelihood of being sold or as agricultural produce except for incidental scrap sales. Now when bearer plants are no longer used to bear produce, they might be cut down and sold as scrap. For example, woods that is used as firewood. Now next question comes that when to be recognized, that is when should property, plant, equipment be recognized. What should be the recognition criteria for the property, plant and equipment? So they are recognized if following two conditions are satisfied. What are those two conditions? The very first one is there is a future economic benefit which should flow to your enterprise. So obviously there should be a future economic benefit which should obviously flow to your enterprise. That means there should be an inflow of future economic benefit. The second criteria to fulfill is that cost should be reliably measurable. So if any property, plant or equipment is satisfying all these two conditions, then they will be recognized. Now next question comes here is that at which cost should property, plant and equipment be recognized? So an enterprise evaluates all its costs on property, plant, equipment at the time they are incurred. So these costs include first initial cost, second subsequent cost. Initial cost is the initial cost and subsequent cost is the subsequent cost. I know it sounds insane, but the definition means the same. Okay, now let us understand the meaning of initial cost. So initial cost consists three costs, that is purchase price plus direct cost plus decommissioning cost. Now what is decommissioning cost? It is the deinstallation cost, that is we will be finding the present value of this cost and we will be recognizing the same. Okay, so the present value of this deinstallation cost will be recognized. Now what is decommissioning cost? It is actually the cost which will be incurred in the future, and this is the cost of deinstalling an asset if the asset is not working anymore or is of no use of anymore. Okay? So now purchase price plus direct cost plus decommissioning cost together forms initial cost of the particular property, plant and equipment. Now to capitalize means to recognize and write in the books of accounts. Now decommissioning expenses is to be written off every year. For example, write off till 5 years if this cost will be incurred after 5 years. So if you are assuming this cost to happen in 5 years from now in future, then we have to write off this till 5 years only. Now let us understand this particular initial cost with one example. So the example says that an equipment is purchased for rupees 5 lakh and custom duty of rupees 50,000 is paid, out of which rupees 20,000 will be Senvet credit. Now carriage for bringing is rupees 10,000, wages for installation is rupees 10,000, trial run and professional fees is rupees 50,000. And rupees 20,000 will have to be incurred after 5 years to uninstall the asset, and interest rate is given at the rate 10% per annum. So how are we going to calculate initial cost? So initial cost here means purchase price. So what is the purchase price here? It is 5 lakh. So purchase price 5 lakh. Then it includes direct cost. So here direct cost is, direct cost is rupees, first one will be 50,000 minus 20,000, that is 30,000. So why we have deducted 20,000? Because this is the credit that we will be given. So we will not be including this 20,000 in this 50,000. So first is 30,000. Then direct cost will be this 10,000 for bringing the asset, that is carriage. Then this 10,000 for wages for installation. So 30,000, 10,000, 10,000, and then this 50,000 for trial run and professional fees, this 50,000. So likewise we have 1 lakh direct cost. So we have found out purchase price, direct cost. Next is decommissioning cost. So how are we going to calculate this decommissioning cost? So purchase price is 5 lakh, direct cost is 1 lakh, and decommissioning cost. So here it is written that rupees 20,000 will have to be incurred after 5 years to uninstall the asset. So the time limit is 5 years, and the installation cost is rupees 20,000. Okay, so first we will calculate the present value of rupees 20,000. Okay. So we are now going to find out the present value of rupees 20,000. So how to calculate that? Now listen. 1.1, then divide, then 5 times equal to, why 5 times? Because 5 years. Okay, because 5 years, and amount is rupees 20,000. So please see here very carefully. See, 1.1 will be divided by, one time we have done divide, and then 5 times equal to. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. See, the amount that we have got is 0.62092. So 0.6209 into rupees 20,000 will obviously give the present value, that is rupees 12,418, which will be the respective decommissioning cost of this particular property, that is equipment, of this particular equipment. So I hope you know the tricks to calculate the present value and the future value. Now here the total initial cost will be rupees 5 lakh plus rupees 1 lakh plus rupees 12,418, and the total initial cost comes rupees 6 lakh 12,418. Okay, I'll show you once more how I have calculated this. So see, 1.1 divided by, and 5 times equal to, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, 0.6209. So this is the easiest method of calculating the present value. I request all of you, please use this calculator, that is Casio, and use best calculator to avoid panicking and hectic in exam halls. Please invest in the best calculator. Okay, so we have done initial cost. Now let us come to the subsequent cost. Now there are two types of cost, initial cost and subsequent cost. Initial cost is already discussed. Now let us discuss what is the meaning of subsequent cost. So now listen to me. An enterprise should choose either the cost model or the revaluation model as its accounting policy, and should apply that policy to an entire class of property, plant and equipment. Now property, plant, equipment, if retired from active use, that is now it is of no use, then बट नॉट हेल्ड फॉर डिस्पोजल, ठीक है, मतलब कि अब यूज़ भी नहीं कर रहे बट हमको सेल भी नहीं करना उसको, ठीक है, रखे रहना अपने पास। तो उस केस में क्या हो जाएगा, उसका रेसिडुअल वैल्यू निकल जाएगा। नाउ रेसिडुअल वैल्यू के नीचे नहीं जाना है, ठीक है, डेप्रिसिएशन कैलकुलेट करने के लिए। सो हाउ इज डेप्रिसिएशन कैलकुलेटेड? ओरिजिनल कॉस्ट माइनस स्क्रैप divided by number of its year. So original cost for example is 10 lakh and residual value is also for example 10 lakh, then in that case depreciation will not be calculated. But if original cost is rupees 10 lakh and residual value is 9 lakh, then in that case 1 lakh upon 20, that is rupees 5,000 will be the cost. Now methods of depreciation: SLM single line method, DBM diminishing balance method, unit method, that is for example flying hours, and review every year as a change in accounting estimate. Now let us come to the disclosure part, that is what are the things that should be disclosed in the financial statement of the company or the organization. So first thing that will be disclosed is cost or evaluation model, which model is the organization or the particular firm is using. Next is which depreciation method is that particular firm or enterprise is using. Next is expenditure on account of property, plant and equipment should also be disclosed, and contractual commitment for the acquisition of property, plant, equipment should also be disclosed, and the existence and amounts of restrictions on title and property, plant and equipment pledged as security for liabilities should also be disclosed. So these are some of the things that should and must be disclosed at the time of making of financial statement. So this is it for this video. I hope you got some of the idea of accounting standard 10, that is accounting for property, plant and equipment. So this is it for this video. Study well and be disciplined, and thank you so much for watching.